What's going on, guys? This is Revolution Ricky here at Casa de Revolution, here to do another unboxing video. This is to coincide with the music I've been listening to as of late. Um, just got a delivery of this big box. I got that earlier. I didn't open it yet because I was expecting another one. And this thing right here. And it's to stick with the theme that the music I've been listening to as of late. And a viewer has asked me to do a comic book one. So this will actually coincide with what I've been listening to. As many of y'all know, Alice Cooper and Judas Priest are co-headlining a tour, and the tour kicks off in September in Biloxi. And me and a buddy of mine are going to go see him. Last year, he paid for me to go see Judas Priest at the Mobile Civic Center where I live, and it was going to be one of the final concerts that the Mobile Civic Center put on because they were going to demolish that center, and he had a spare ticket and gave it to me, and I told him, well, one day I'll return the favor to you. Well, fast forward a year later, I'm taking him to go see Judas Priest and Alice Cooper with Corrosion and Conformity opening up. So this is going to coincide for what I got in the mail. I'm going to open this big box first, and then I'll start with the this package over here. I don't show off my address because I don't like it. These are just labors of love that I'm doing. So without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. Got my scissors right here. So hopefully I don't stab myself. Ooh, thing's tight. Maybe I'll just break the tape off. If I need to, I can just whoever take that good. There you go. There you are. Picked this up from Amazon relatively cheap. That's what I always wanted. Again, lots of paper. Hardcover edition of The Last Temptation. Everybody was wanting me, a viewer wanted me to do a comic book one lately about my comic book collection, and I kind of was debating whether I should or not. This was written by Neil Gaiman, Alice Cooper, and Mike Zulli. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I don't get it right. I've been wanting this one for many, many years. I've seen the issues, but never picked it up. And it was like, I think it was like $20 or so that I picked it up. And I guess it coincides with this album by Alice Cooper, The Last Temptation. I listened to this in its entirety, I think a couple days ago, and it was a very good album. It was the follow-up to Hey Stupid, which I got somewhere. It's in this pile somewhere. Anyway, well, that was that. The artwork, I'll just show off a little bit of the artwork. Hopefully I don't get flagged. Looks pretty good. It's also got a script. I like dark comics. I'm a very, especially, the work of Alan Moore, James O'Barr, who did The Crow, which is one of my favorites. Of course, Neil Gaiman. I don't know what's going on with his personal life. That's his business. Don't Involve Me. I like Sandman. Spawn is another good title. You know, in the 90s, comics got a lot darker. And I really, you know, and Alice Cooper, you can't go wrong. He's loves, you know, his music is very dark. So I picked this up for relatively cheap. It wasn't no like 20 or 22 bucks. I can't really remember the price. I don't care. So, you know, and over the weekend, I also got a delivery of these two albums by Alice Cooper. Road. I always like it when I can peel the hype sticker and set it on the album. That way, if I put it in a plastic sleeve or cover, I don't have to try to rip this off again and again and again. So I got this, and it's got a DVD of a concert. I think it's Hellfest 2023, 2022, somewhere in there. And Detroit Stories, which has a hype sticker. I was really excited. I said, I hope I get these off, because hype stickers on albums are hit and miss. And I think I got these like Thursday or Friday, and I wanted to wait because I had another delivery and I was going to show them all off, but I wanted to hear these two because of the DVD concerts. Well, I guess that wraps that up. Now on to the other one. I picked this up for relatively cheap. You know, to coincide with the kick I'm on, and then I'm going to show y'all some other stuff. This is a 5 CD set of original albums by Alice Cooper. Has the Pretties for You, Fast Action, Love It to Death, Killer, and School's Out. I got School's Out on vinyl, and I got another CD of School's Out. So, but I wanted to pick this up because I wanted it to coincide with the theme I've been watching and listening to. I've only heard like the Alice Cooper's greatest hits. I had the cassette and I would listen to it, you know, last day of school. I was able to get that, pop it in and my Walkman and listen to that song. And I'm off on vacation for 3 months when schools had a 3-month vacation and not a month and a half. That was back in my day. That was it, and we didn't have to wear school uniforms. We wore what we wanted to, like street clothes. With me was blue jeans and t-shirt. Still that way. But I picked that up. It was relatively cheap. And then I picked up this double feature of Alice Cooper of Welcome to My Nightmare and the Nightmare TV special with Vincent Price. I'm going to bore my... Oh, it's a Blu-ray. Oh, I thought it was a regular DVD. Oh, it's a Blu-ray. Oh, that's cool. I think me and my wife are going to sit back, relax, and watch this tonight instead of watching Monday Night Raw and wrestling. It's getting predictable. But, you know, the Nightmare TV special... a lot of people back in the 70s did TV specials. I remember Linda Carter did one, and that was, she came out dressed as Wonder Woman after the series was canceled, and that was the last time she was ever Wonder Woman. And you know, Bea Arthur had one, and Alice Cooper has one, and then they did the Dean Martin Celebrity Roasts, and I asked for the Welcome to My Nightmare concert video with when I had just seen Alice Cooper in concert, and the DVDs I only had like one DVD, but I wanted this Welcome to My Nightmare concerts video so I could see what he was like in the 70s. Because Alice Cooper got his start in the late 60s and is still touring today, still puts on the makeup, and he does a really very, very, very good show. Um, you know, of course, his shows were gothic and shock rock, which I love shock rock. Shock rock to me, they're still doing shock rock to this day with Marilyn Manson, who I don't like, Rob Zombie, who I do like. I guess you could categorize Nine Inch Nails in that category as well. They do a little bit of shock rock. There's people, groups of today like Slipknot. I think there's Lodi, I can't remember their names. Kind of Kiss on steroids, and of course Gwar, who my brother-in-law, the guy who was married to my sister for a time, listened to. But I've always, Alice Cooper is the be-all to end-all, as far as I'm concerned. He's the godfather of shock rock. I've always liked that. When I went to see Alice Cooper 20 years ago, he did the whole routine with the guillotine, and his daughter, who was a backup dancer and maybe a backup singer, did some vocals, and a guy I had met before about 25 years ago, almost 30 years ago, Eric Singer, who did a drum clinic out here where I live, and me and a friend of mine went to it, and Eric autographed my Kiss albums and my Badlands cassette. And Eric Singer's a real cool guy. He has played with Kiss all these years. Here, another story. They're getting to go to Las Vegas to do a non-makeup show, and I was like, hey, get Bruce Kulick to do it with you, or get the original members. Have one more go around of Kiss getting in the makeup. Totally off subject, but I always loved Alice Cooper. And my wife loves Vincent Price, so you can't go wrong with Vincent Price. She loved him, and Edward Scissorhands, and he's always played great roles, horror type movies. He was kind of like the last in line of Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Christopher Lee type actors who played in horror movies, and his voice was in the Thriller album. You hear him doing the narration at the end of the song Thriller. Won't play it because of copyright, but I'm going to give this a listen to, and hopefully me and my wife don't have to listen to any of her stuff tonight, or any of mine, which is wrestling. With that being said, I guess I'll go ahead and show off the Alice Cooper stuff I do have. I don't have all his albums. I've got maybe like 2 vinyl records, one of 45, and the other one is the School's Out vinyl, which I, in one of my boxes here somewhere. I had some help cleaning my house when I was getting ready to come home, and we've had some help cleaning our house, and I've been looking for stuff ever since, so I don't know where it's at. But I'll go ahead and show off some of the Alice Cooper stuff I do have. Yes, I'll start with a box set. I picked this up about 20 years ago. And I think my mother bought me this for Christmas one year. The Life and Crimes of Alice Cooper. It's got some of this earlier stuff from when he was in the Spiders. It sounds almost Beatle-esque type music. And then it goes, down to, it has the track listing here in a booklet. Um, and then it goes, from the 60s and 70s to the 70s and 80s and 80s to 90s and maybe a little bit of the 2000s. I'm not real sure. Maybe I'm not 100%. Has all the hits. Has the He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask, which was the first Alice Cooper 45 I've ever bought in my life, because I seen him on MTV one day, which, as you many all know, what I feel about MTV nowadays. It stood for music television, not maternity ward television. Every time you turn on TV now, you see a girl pregnant. And now, back then, when I grew up, during the MTV era, they played music. They did that even though I didn't like the music that came out of the 90s so much. They still played music. And now it's Real World, what's that show? Jersey Shore, Florida Bama Shore, whatever shore things are playing. And I think if you see a music video nowadays on MTV, it's a rarity. I mean, come on. MTV stood for music television, not maternity ward television. But I had always loved this box set. And now I'm going to show off some of the CDs I've got. Like I said, I don't have all the albums. This is one of my favorites. Billion Dollar Babies. Great album. Picked this up years ago. I think they sold it at Walmart, or I picked it up through a CD club. I think it was BMG or whatever, or Columbia House, because they sold that. Welcome to My Nightmare, which coincides with that movie. Love this album. It has Vincent Price doing narration. Let's see, we got Trash. This is okay. I like Trash. It's a very good album. And it, has Poison. Why my wife's niece would pick that song, I never know to play at her wedding. Well, that's her. Got a couple more here I'll show. Got Hey Stupid, which is, it has Feed My Frankenstein on it. And that's a good song. I like that from Wayne's World and Hey Stupid. Got the live album, A Fistful of Alice. Live albums are a hit and miss with me. But this is actually pretty good. It has, I think it has Slash and Rob Zombie doing vocals on one of the tracks. I think the Feed My Frankenstein is the one he's doing the vocals for. And it's a good album. And I got Schools Out. I don't know where my other three Alice Cooper CDs that I have. One of them is The Eyes of Alice Cooper, which I hate. I don't like it. It's an okay album, but I barely listened to it. I couldn't get into it for some reason. Dragon Town is okay. I like that one. And Brutal Planet is a good album. I like that one too. But I don't know where they're at. They're probably in these boxes somewhere, and I'll have to look for them. But I always did like Schools Out. And I got this on vinyl, where the cover will fold out into like a disc. You open up the opening from the cover, and it's in the front, and you pull the record out. I played it a couple times, and I thought, oh, that's cool. So I got this, and I think that's about it. I wanted to come on here and unbox these videos and tell y'all about them. Everybody's been wanting me to do a comic book one, So here's my comic book one. I'll probably do more comic book ones later. Oh, and I forgot. Of course, The Last Temptation, which I showed, which coincides with the book I got. Well, this is Revolution Ricky signing off. Keep spinning that vinyl and the CDs. Take care of yourself. Peace.